Hello, my name is Mercury, and welcome to this brand new episode of Media Buffet. Today, I'm alone, and I'll be discussing the third and final season of Sonic Prime. This released, last year? Was it? Yeah, we've covered Sonic Prime, uh, sometimes, uh, it, but yeah, now it's done. Fucking finally. So, it's not like I hated the show. But it's a show. It's on Netflix about Sonic and the multiverse and all that shit, kind of. Um, which I think, like at first we didn't know it was real or not. I remember that people didn't really know if Sonic Prime was gonna be a real thing. But I remember some concept art that came out that was leaked, and people thought that it was gonna be like looking through the entirety of the Sonic like history. That wasn't the case. It was just kind of this like different dimension stuff, and it dealt with the multiverse, but that's it. Yeah, Sonic Prime leaked concept art. But yeah, it was not about the different Sonic and stuff. And I looked it up on the Sonic Wiki, but apparently this show is canon to the games. I didn't know that. Or the show is at least it's said to be part of the games. So yeah. Anyways, we've covered the show like the year after the season's air, but now we are officially done with it. And yeah, this season was shorter. This season was only 7 episodes long. And thank fuck, so I can get it over with. I thought it was gonna be 8 like the others, but no, it's 7. So there's not much to say here. It's just that it's kind of weird going through this after already doing the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, doing all of them. Well, I mean, we haven't done Knuckles yet, but we've done Sonic. We did Sonic 3. We're gonna get to Knuckles eventually, though. I do promise that Knuckles will be talked about. But aside from that, there's not much to say, and I don't think I have that much to say about the show in general. At least I don't think it's gonna be a really long episode. So let's just get into it. Sonic Prime Season 3. Alright. We're gonna start off with the animation and action, and the animation in this show is really good. I feel like the action is also really good. I feel like it translates the gameplay well into sort of like the combat well into here, but that's not really like a hard thing to do because it's done well, I think, in every single like adaptation that we see from Sonic, at least that I've seen. The action is always solid, but the animation here looks really good. I can't fault anything here. I think the animation in this show is really good. But I feel, and in here in this season, I think it looks the best. I don't know. I saw somebody. I saw some people on the subreddits say that the show dipped in quality at some points, and here it didn't, at least. But yeah, no, in here, but apparently it didn't like in other seasons. But yeah, in here, it looks really good. So I gotta give props to Wild Brain Studios. I think these are the animation team, because they made they've been solidly making shows with really good quality animation. Apparently, they are making the Minecraft show That's interesting. I didn't know that. I did not know they were making the Minecraft show. Did they make? They made Ninjago? Oh well, seasons 11 to 15 only. Gotcha. Will film APS. I didn't know Ninjago had 15 seasons. Hold on, this is yikes. Okay. I didn't know Ninjago had 15 seasons. So that's interesting. Okay, I remember. I'm pretty sure for Ninjago, I stopped watching at season 5. I stopped. So I kind of fell out of interest for watching Ninjago. It's like at some point, like after rebooted, I just did not watch the show. But then on Netflix I watched Possession, season 5. I did not watch Skybound, so there's that. But I did watch Possession, and that's about where I stopped. I remember when Sons of Garmadon was coming out, which is when they decided to change the animation style. I think the voice actors changed too. But that's really about where it ended. Yeah, I didn't know they make Ninjago. That's cool. But yeah, this looks really good. This one looks really good. And you know, again, like I said, the action is also really good. But that's been kind of the norm of the season, and I really enjoy it. So there's not much more to say in the department. So let's just move on to the characters. Right. So starting off with Sonic. There's not much to say about him, to be completely honest. He's mostly the same, and stays the same throughout. I gotta be fucking real with you guys. I watched this. I watched it between yesterday and today. But I don't think Sonic really developed as a character here. He decided to think he was like, oh yeah, no, I'm sorry for doing this, and it's like, I mean, yeah. I mean, he's sorry for trying to restore his world. So, I mean, it's mostly viewed that Tails is, not Tails, Nine is in the wrong. But, aside from that, like Sonic acts like he was in the wrong, and it's like, that's weird, when he really wasn't. Since it's like him trying to restore his world is what he's been trying to do the entire show. So, yeah, there's that. But yeah, he didn't develop at all. There's nothing much to say about Sonic, because there's really nothing there. 7 episodes, he doesn't really develop as a character at all. He's mostly just kind of there. Moving on from that, 9 is up next, and he's our main villain this time around. He's the bad guy. I don't know what I said about him becoming the bad guy last time, but I just kind of felt like 9. I think at least I think it's an interesting scenario where he didn't know if he'd be like erased if Sonic brought back his world. Or at least I felt like he was used instead of and all that. I think it's interesting, but this entire part of this entire season is pretty much like that, like those arcs in movies where the two best friends have to drift apart and go their separate ways. Like in fucking Venom, Let There Be Carnage. So this entire season feels like it's like a one big misunderstanding and all that, but this is like an entire show made with that concept, which I think it can definitely work And and I think what they tried to go with is at least interesting, where it's Tails. Tails is like the main villain here, Sonic's best friend. But to be honest, I feel like they didn't do much with that as a concept. It's more like because most of Sonic and Knight's interactions are, oh, this is not you, and Tails and Knight is like, oh, I don't fucking care, and he just kind of, and this go back and forth until at the end where it just kind of works. Because at that point it's all gone wrong and things. I don't know, man. I feel like Knight's character development in here, like at the end, just kind of and like he acts like that's mostly him, but he acts like so smarmy. Nine, I don't know. I think I think it would have been a fine concept, and it's not like he's handled terribly. It's just that some things are kind of undercooked. I wouldn't say it's bad. I just like it's just kind of undercooked, and yeah, I don't know. That's what I feel like. You know, that's what I think. Aside from that, I think I don't know 9. I think 9 is just there as a villain. I think he would be an interesting villain, and it definitely poses an interesting question. But that's not. It doesn't really like answer it in a interesting way. But yeah. So up with Shadow. I want to talk about Shadow. Shadow's cool. Shadow's one of the is the best character of the season. I like how Shadow acts. I think he acts like I think how Shadow should. He's handled how Shadow it should be handled. He has actual stakes in the plot. My only complaint is that he fucking goes away and is like, oh yeah, I was fighting these robots because 9 creates robots and shit. But yeah, that's Shadow. But I mean, I like Shadow, and I like how he kind of course corrects Sonic in some places and all that. He's like sort of the voice of reason. And I like how in the show it kind of like says like, oh yeah, Shadow is different from Sonic, and I like that. I do like that about about Shadow's character here. Next up is the Chaos Council. And I think it's something really interesting with the Chaos Council. I felt like Season 2 took a lot from Season 1. It was very samey. But what I liked from Season 3 is that the Chaos Council are like actual characters that do things. I mean, obviously they did things there, but they have actual interactions and all that. And we see like how they act on people and how they don't really want to work with the heroes. But they have to for the betterment, for like the sake of the world, of just the multiverse in general. And you know, I like that. I like that. I like how they handled the Chaos Council in this season. And obviously, sometimes it gets a bit repetitive of them just kind of arguing with the actual heroes. But aside from that, like, there's really not much else to say. And yeah, no, that's really about it. They get defeated at the end because, of course, they could not be trusted, and I don't think they should have been trusted. But at least it handles it in that way, where like afterwards, like, yeah, no, fuck these guys. And yeah, it's just I think they were handled well. I think they were handled. I think the idea was handled well, and Sonic working with Eggman for just like to save the world in general, because Eggman needs to fucking have the world there for him to do his thing. Then yeah, I like that. It's happened previously, so it has its basis. It happened recently, even more recently with the Sonic 3 movie. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a staple. So I like how it happened here, and having a bunch of Eggmans. I don't know, like it helped. I think because it made it a bit more enjoyable to see like different like perspectives and how these versions of Eggman handled situations. And so I think it was at least like interesting and well handled. Some other characters I want to talk about, not really, is actually like a concept instead, and it's that I like how, again, in multiverse stories. In multiverse stories, uh, and this is what I feel kind of with Marvel. It doesn't do much with the variant concept. I think a lot of multiverse stories don't do interesting things with the variant concept of the multiverse, where characters don't really meet other versions of themselves. In Marvel, the multiverse is mostly used for cameos and shit, when it's more than that, and it's been handled as more than that in stuff like Invincible. I haven't watched it, but I know that the multiverse and the Invincible War are parts of it, and people and the Invincible's interactive variants of themselves. So it's handled there. I feel like Sonic Prime, I think it handled it actually pretty well. I like I like how they handled the variants, and especially with them having 3 different worlds that they can take variants from and have them interact. I like how the Amy Roses of each universe, like, decide to sort of band together, and they consider them sisters. I like that a lot. I like how like everyone interacts with each other at the end here. No, like I and some I think some of them shine, like Manji, the Tails from the whatever the fuck the Boss Cage Maze, the jungle world, where we see that he's actually really smart. I don't remember if that was part of him in those episodes, but we see he's really smart, and he's still like Tails at his core, with him like increasing the efficiency by 38%, they said, or something like that. Like, yeah, like I like that. It showed how still these characters are based on, Tails, Tails, Knuckles, Rouge, and Amy, but like show their characteristics outside of this part, and how they interact with the world, and showcase that they were based on these characters. I like that, and obviously having all these interactions and stuff. I like it, and I think this show handles it well, and it probably comes from the fact that this show is not built on the biggest budget. It's a Canadian production. I know that it's a Canadian production. I don't know how. I mean, the animation is really good, but it's not based in America, so it doesn't have like the biggest things out there. It doesn't have the biggest talent, and apparently Canada has this thing where any production there has to have, like, I think 70 or like 80% of their like voice crew be Canadian, which I think is really cool. But yeah, Canadian. Yeah, these are all Canadian. Wait, hold on. What? Oh, what the hell? Oh yeah, no, I forgot that Valkyrie voiced in this series. Whoops. Yeah. I forgot that she voiced in the series. But yeah, I also Jacksepticeye's here too. But yeah, no, I think they handled the variant concept really well. I would have liked to seen some Eggman variants, but I think they had their hands full with the Chaos Council anyway. So yeah. And that's about it. Then some other things I want to talk about is the plot. One of my main things I think I mentioned this before, but like one of the main things, one of the main problems with season 2 is that it just kind of repeated itself after season 1. It didn't really offer anything new. I think this season definitely did offer something new. We usually, most of our time is spent in the green, which is a world that we didn't really explore. And we have we have all these interactions with these different characters and variants and stuff. But also, we have the interactions with the Chaos Council and the heroes and all different worlds and shit. Especially after the Chaos Council kind of fucked everything in season 2. I think that's interesting. There's new plot lines here that we follow, especially with 9, and now they deal with that sort of thing. But I feel like it just kind of, again, like I said earlier, Sonic and 9's this thing becomes repetitive. Like, this season is also suffers from the repetitiveness of everything, where 9 is like 9 and Sonic are just going through this through these motions until it just kind of works at the end, which I don't know. And then there's the Chaos Council and everyone else, like they're all arguing and it's like, oh yeah, break it up. It's like, well, they argue again. It's like, okay, break it up. It's like, come on, man. I would have liked to seen some more development in those areas, especially since the season is pretty much just like this little thing. And there are like several times throughout the season where Sonic is like, okay, I'm ready to give myself up to 9. It's like, no, you can't. And it's like, well, we do like 3 times until it works. And it's like, oh yeah, he's fine. Obviously, he's fucking Sonic. He's not gonna die. But yeah. But I think the plot serves its purpose. There's nothing terribly bad about it. It's just that it suffers from that repetitiveness, but at least for me, it feels like a breath of fresh air to just kind of see more things and like more something that's a little bit more interesting than just kind of the same thing from season 1 and 2. So I like it. I mean, I like it. I think it does the job well. It's just that it breaks apart from that repetitiveness that season 2 had, but also breaks into its own repetitiveness in its like vacuum within its own season. So, if that makes any sense. Also, the series ends with a cliffhanger. So let's talk about that. The future. Currently, this show is not slated to come back for a 4th season. But they left it on a cliffhanger, and Netflix said that series was gonna last for 24 episodes. So what the fuck is going on? I'm guessing. My main guess is that this is gonna be that the Chaos Council probably found a way to get the Green Hill, and that's what we're gonna explore in maybe a sequel series or some shit. Or maybe that they're trying to convince Netflix really hard to renew it for 3 more seasons. And that's how we see this all this sort of thing. But yeah, no, I mean, it would be. I think it would be really, really interesting to see how Eggman interacts with the Chaos Council. If this is that where they're going, there's definitely interesting ways to take this, or it might just be an ambiguous ending to see who's this villain, and they go on ahead. It's like, oh yeah, and it's just like a normal villain. Oh, now it's another adventure. It's mostly just Sonic continuing off his adventures instead of teasing a new villain, a new season. It's mostly just oh, now it's time for another story, which may or may not be told. I don't know, something like that. Maybe, I don't know. But we'll see, definitely, if they do something else with this. They do it a sequel series, Sonic Prime, or just do anything. But yeah. Overall, I think Sonic Prime is fine. Sonic Prime Season 3 is fine. It suffers from repetitiveness, but at least it gives us something new. I feel like its characters don't develop well, but I think some of the character interactions are done, artistic and done pretty and done well. But it's nothing that wouldn't go. That I wouldn't call good. It's bearable to watch, but there's nothing really bad about it. But there's also nothing really good about it. Like nothing substantially good that it does well. It just handles things. I think if I said anything well, I think it just handles things in like a bearable way. You're not gonna have a terrible time watching it. You're gonna walk out of there and say that was pretty okay. That was pretty decent. Then that is pretty decent. I'm putting it on C tier. It is a pretty decent show, a pretty decent season. You're not gonna be terribly disappointed, but you're not gonna be really full like it doesn't like you're not gonna be really fulfilled. There's nothing here substantial. It's just overall okay. So yeah, that was Sonic Prime Season 3. What did you guys think about it? Leave in the comments below. All of our socials on the description. And if you wanna follow us around, you fucking stalkers, I'm kidding. If you're on Spotify, you can follow us there to stay up to date with our episodes. And if you liked it or disliked it, you can rate it. And if you listen to this on YouTube, subscribe if you want to stay up to date with our content on here. Like it if you like the episode, dislike it if you dislike it. Share it if around if you think it's worth sharing. And that's about it. See ya.